Hi, my name is Melissa George, and I'm a student here at Clemson University. I'm actually a transfer student from Anderson University, but I'm now with the Clemson family. And for Clemson, we are required to take a CU 1000 course, and for part of that, we had to attend a new student dialogue. My group's topic was the sexual politics of hooking up, and as the description says, it seeks to examine the different people and the different perceptions of behavior in men and women, and to have a better understanding of how these different perceptions impact our views on not only ourselves, but others, mainly men versus women. I really liked this. I wasn't so sure about it at first, but it was very cool once we got started. And it talked about dialogue, and one of the first questions was if I feel that our group has achieved true dialogue during this session. And honestly, I had no idea what true dialogue or dialogue in general was at first, but they taught us that as soon as we came in. That was one of the very first things that they taught us, because it's not an argument and it's not a discussion. It's kind of in between. There's no judging, there's no winner, it's just open discussion for you to simply talk and listen and get different sides of things. And so for my group, I think that we really did achieve true dialogue, because we had both men and women in our classroom, and each side spoke. So it wasn't, one-sided at all. It was, 16-sided. I mean, there was just not one same point idea, anything. Each individual got a chance to share, their own experience, their own opinion, their own side of the situation, whatever it was. And I mean, in our case, it was for hooking up, and more so gender role, I guess you could say. But nobody overtalked or argued with anybody, so that was really good. Some of the observations I made, there was active roles in my dialogue, me included. It was mainly about 10 of us, the other half not so much, although they did participate in the opening discussions and group activity. But the more active voices, it was about 10 of us, and we all got a chance to share. We went back and forth, but in the regard that, somebody asked a question, somebody else answered, there was agreements here, there. We all took a minute just to kind of think about things before we said it, so that was really good. I mean, every time that person spoke, though, too, it was something different. It wasn't like they were just saying the same things over and over again. So that's what was cool, is that even, they even had different opinions after they might have already said something to begin with. My role, I did actively participate. I thought it was really fun. To me, I like knowing why. I like knowing reasoning. So I kind of asked a lot of questions for some things that people would say. I'd be like, well, why is that? Or, why do you think that way? Just because I'm curious, and I like knowing, because I obviously have my own reason, my own opinion, but I like to see what theirs is, or how they interpret things. Part of this dialogue, I think this dialogue is a component of CU 1000, because it teaches the importance of, learning something new. You get to experience new faces. You could meet friends, and it's a judge-free zone. So people really get to go out of their comfort zones and talk about things that they may not be comfortable talking with just out in general, out in the public. So I think that they use this as a learning experience or a learning tool, especially with society now. Just everybody's on, their social media and everything. There's not a lot face-to-face interaction, and I think that's really important. I think we need to have that face-to-face interaction and, dialogue. I think it's important, especially the judging thing, because, feelings can get involved, and with dialogue, it doesn't. They're not supposed to, anyway. So for me, I think that, I could use it in my own university experience, communicating with people, really getting to know people. Everybody has their own background, their own past, and it's important to get their, hear them out. It's important to hear them out, get their sides of things before you say a certain thing that could hurt them or do a certain thing that could offend them or anything of that matter. I think it's really important to talk, communicate, maybe get your point across. But, have open discussions. I think it's really important. And so I will use it, not only in my university experience, but like outside in the real world. It's showing us how to be adults and, get out there and be professional and things like that, things that you can use outside in the real world in your own life. Some additional thoughts I have about the new student dialogue that I had was, at first it was really awkward and uncomfortable. Like I said, nobody kind of talked. Everybody was just we're just here to be here. But once the facilitators, which were also great, they shared their own experiences, they got the ball rolling. Once they did all that and we kind of got together in little groups and then started as little groups and got into the one big group, I think that a lot of people really got a little bit more comfortable, and it helped, it helped make time go by fast. It helped, like I said, everybody get their own viewpoints of things and, differences between men and women, or how they feel about things or why they say things the way they do and that kind of thing. So it was a great experience to be able to, basically be in a room with a complete stranger, and at the end you're talking as if you're friends. So I thought that was really, really cool, and overall it was a great experience, and I'm glad that I was able to attend.